good people, and welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are doing well and having an amazing Sunday. So as you guys can see from the video title, I am going to be basically just kind of making over my pantry door. I told you guys that this was a project that I wanted to do for quite some time, so I'm finally able to complete this makeover. This pantry door is actually the start of a kitchen redesign. At some point, really soon, I want to completely redo my kitchen. And so that pantry makeover is just the beginning phase of that whole entire process. So there's quite a few indoor projects that I have to complete, that I need to complete, some of which I was supposed to do last year, didn't get a chance to get around to it. You guys might remember I told you I wanted to do a complete fireplace in my living room area. I still plan to do that project. I just haven't gotten around to it just yet, and I'm still researching, just trying to figure out something that I want to do with that. But anyway, with today's video, I am excited about it. This was a super easy project. This project literally took me a weekend to complete. The only difficult part with this project was just trying to decide on a paint color. And when I was trying to decide on the paint color, I was thinking along the lines of what I plan to do in the kitchen redesign. And so all of that plays a part in the colors I chose for the pantry, all of that good stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and quickly take a look at that space. All right, so let's take a look at the area I'm going to be making over in today's video. So I am actually going to be just adding a little bit more flair to this pantry door here. So this is my pantry door, and it looks like every other door in my home. And so aside from having the little picture up here that says pantry, I want to also do something to distinguish it from the other doors in my home. And so that's what we're going to be doing. I am excited because this is a project I've been planning for about a month, I want to say. So I wasn't able to do it last Sunday because of the weather, but I finally was able to go out, get all the items, the supplies that I need to get this project started. So I'm about to run out to Lowe's and grab those last bit of supplies that I need, which in this case is just basically going to be some molding. And I'm also going to be getting a new door handle. So let's go. All right, y'all, so I am in Lowe's about to pick up those last bit of materials that I need to do my door makeover. What I actually needed were some molding. All right, y'all, so I just made it home, and I want to go ahead and show you guys right quickly what I'm going to be using to make over this door. So I'm going to be using 2 of these panels along with the molding that I showed you guys, and then I'm going to be, staining it a particular color, and I'll show you guys the stain as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at these panels. All right, so here's a look at the panels that I'm going to be using. These are so cute. I love the design that's in these panels here. You kind of see that. Let me see if I can provide a little bit more lighting. So dark in here, y'all. It's cloudy. Maybe this is a little bit better. So yeah. So these are the panels. They're so cute. You can pretty much see how thin they are. They're not that wide, which is perfect. So I have 2 of these, and the plan, let me just tell you guys what the plan is. So the plan is to, my goodness, put the panels to hide this little design here that's in the door, these little designs. And so at first I thought I would have had to cover the door first before adding this, but let me show you guys something. I have this little command strip thing here, and this is how I've been kind of hanging it just to kind of get an idea of what it looks like. So this is the plan right here for it to look like this. And as you can see, once I put this on here, you really can't even see that design that's behind there. So I'm not going to even cover it. I'm just going to put those right on top. It'll really blend once they're both painted this or stained the same color. But anyway, I have two of these, and I'm going to put, one is here, and I'm going to put the other one down here, and then I'm going to frame it with the molding, and I think that's going to be gorgeous. So that's my plan. I'm also going to be removing my doorknobs. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So super excited. So let's go ahead and get started with painting this door and then painting these panels here. So before we get started with painting the door, of course, I want to wipe the door down first, just to kind of get any dust or any debris that's left on the door. All right, y'all, so this is the color that I started off with, but I did not keep this color. As you can see, I've already, started brushing like the little design part in the door. So now I'm gonna go ahead and use the roller to finish painting the rest of the door. And then I'll go ahead and also paint the panels. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So I do want to share that even though I didn't keep this particular paint color on the door, I still wanted to share with you my entire process with this makeover. And I typically do that whenever I complete a project. The only exception is if my camera died. And you guys will see a little later on that there was a scene where the camera died and I was not able to show you guys something that I did. However, I will walk you through it. But this color was just too beigey for my liking. I had a color in mind that I wanted to do because, again, in my mind, I'm thinking along the lines of what I have planned for my kitchen redesign. So this pantry door was the starting process of that soon to come makeover. All right, so I don't like the color. I don't like the color. Oh my goodness, it's too beigey. I think I want something that's more like a wheat. I thought that's what I was getting, more of a wheat color. I feel like this is too yellowy. I'm not, I don't know, y'all. I'm not a huge fan of the color. Ooh. This lighting is off. It's terrible because it's dark, and yeah, I'll show you guys again what it looks like in the morning. For right now, I'm just gonna let this sit on here, but I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow. Give it some time to dry. This is just the first coat, but I just feel like already it's just too yellowy. I want something a little bit more muted. Oh goodness, so we'll wait and see. But that's where we're at. So over here, so you remember I painted the door this one color here that I thought I would have liked it, but once it went on the door, it looked yellowy, so I was like, nah, definitely not. And then I went ahead and started painting it this sort of brown color, which I'm not completely opposed to. It's not bad, but I was kind of looking at, the colors on the door as well as the color of the floors. And you can kind of see my floors are more of, I guess, sort of a pine color wood grain. And I don't know, I feel like this brown, I feel like it's too warm. It's too caramelly. But I like this one, this color here. It's more neutral. I feel like this will go really, really well with the decor I have going on in the dining room, because at some point I'm going to be completely redoing my kitchen. So I might as well go ahead and start now with the pantry door. So I'm leaning more towards the color over here. And you can see I even was trying to play with the colors here, but this is the color that I like. I like this one a lot better. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and try to wrap up this door, get it painted. Oh my gosh, because I am so behind schedule. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do right quickly. So surprisingly, when I added the first coat of paint to the door, once that first coat dried, the color became a lot darker. And you can imagine by the time I added the second coat, the color was completely different. It wasn't bad. It was a really nice color, and I appreciated the contrast of that color with everything else I had going on. So I was surprised by the time I added that second coat, because it was much, much, much darker than what you currently see now. But yeah, I really do love the way it turned out. All right, y'all, so I am outside about to paint the panels. I've already painted one of the panels. I'm about to paint the second one, and I just want to show you guys what the first one looks like and show you how I'm going to be painting them. It's a little tricky because you guys could see in the design of the panels, they have a lot of little small holes. And so at first I started off trying to paint in between them, and y'all, that did not work. It was taking forever. So I had to pull out my paint sprayer and get in between those holes. But yeah, so let's go ahead and do that second panel so we can go ahead and put the second coat of paint on the door. So right quickly, I wanted to slow down this clip in the video to show you how well that paint sprayer is getting in between the nooks and cranny in this panel. So you can kind of see here where it's actually covering the inside of those holes. So if you do decide to purchase these panels and you may want to spray paint them or whatever, or paint them, you definitely want to get a paint sprayer, because that's going to make the job a lot easier. So I wanted to take a quick moment to introduce myself. My name is Carolina, and if you are new and visiting this channel for the first time, welcome. It's such a pleasure having you here. And if you enjoyed this type of content, I would absolutely love to have you join my family of subscribers. And as always, to my existing subscribers, guys, I love you all. You are always welcome back. All right, so y'all can see how using the paint sprayer pretty much got in between the nooks and cranny of this panel. So if you do decide to get this panel, and I am going to go over it with the roller, another coat of paint once it's dry. I try to go over them at least twice with the paint. So I'm going to give this a chance to dry, and then I'll go over it one more time. But, if you do decide to get this particular panel, make sure you get a paint sprayer, because it definitely makes the job a lot more efficient and easier to just be able to spray in between these little nooks and cranny. And this is this paint sprayer that I use. I've had this paint sprayer forever. I'm not even sure if they still sell it, but I actually got this paint sprayer from Lowe's, and it's been a few years that I've had this. And this paint sprayer is actually the paint sprayer that I use to actually help paint my deck. So I'm loving it. Can't wait to put on the second coat. But anyway, yeah. The second coat of paint to the door has already dried, as well as the second coat to the panels. So everything is nice and dried. I absolutely love the color. I'm so glad I went with this particular color. It took me a little while to get there, but I'm loving it. So now the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is to actually attach the panels to the door. After doing that, I'm going to frame it with molding. So I went out and purchased some molding. You guys saw that in a previous clip. Once we've added the molding, caulked it, then we'll paint the molding while it's on the actual door. So let's take a look at what everything is looking like so far. All right, y'all. So here is a quick overview of what the door is looking like. And I really, really like it. I like it a lot, actually. Let me see if I can get from this side too. Kind of give you guys a nice overview. So everything is nicely painted. Yes. All right. And you can see how both of those look. I love it. I absolutely love the way this looks. So remember, like I told you guys, I'm basically going to attach the panels to, ooh, goodness, to the door. So one is gonna go below and then the other one is going to go above. And you can probably kind of tell already with this one, it literally hides the little decorative parts here inside the door where you don't have to put anything on top of this. The panel actually hides it. You won't even see that. So I'm not even worried about that. So I'm glad. I'm so excited. So yay. So let's go ahead and get started with adding the panels, so then that way we can actually frame it with the molding. So you'll notice that I only painted one side of the panels, and that's the side that's going to be showing. And what I'm doing right now is just getting everything lined up so I can start attaching the panels to the door. Now you could use some type of glue like liquid nail or something like that to attach these panels. I find it easier to just simply use my Ryobi nail gun to attach the panels to the door. And I basically use half-size nails to accomplish this. So this was super easy, didn't take no time at all. A few nails and it was completely attached. So unfortunately, this is about the point where my phone was about to die, so I was not able to show you guys how I attach the molding to this. But I'll go ahead and make sure to show you in depth what it looks like. All right, so right quickly, I wanted to show you the molding again. So this is what it looks like. You can kind of see it has like this wide flat side here, and then it curves down and it gets narrow. I want to show you how I attached this to the door for the panels and explain why I did it the way I did. So right here, you can kind of see where the molding is. This is where I added the molding. And the reason I did that was because I didn't want the sharp edges of the panel to just be exposed. I wanted to give it some type of curvature to kind of smooth it out, which actually completed the look. So that's what I definitely wanted to do. And I'll see if I can't find a picture of what the panels look like on the door before adding the molding. But you can kind of tell, like right up here, I didn't add any molding. So you still got this sharp edge from the panel sitting here. And the reason I didn't add it up here was because remember I have that over the door shelf. So I still need to add that back, and I wanted to make sure I had enough room to where it could lay flat on the door. So that's why I didn't add any up here. But basically that was the purpose of me adding this molding, was to get rid of those sharp edges from the panel. And you can see that it looks beautiful. And all I did was basically I used the wide edge of this molding here, because remember it has like the little slim edge that comes down. So I used the wide edge and put that right up against the panel, as you can see here. So that went up against the panel like this, and then the other edge smoothed it out and attached to the door. So that's why I did what I did, and that's how I basically use it. So you know, y'all, I like to give y'all a demonstration, especially when my phone you know, when it shuts off or whatever, I wanted to still be able to show you guys how I did that. So you can kind of see it here. Look at that. It lays perfectly. So before the final reveal, let's take a look back and be reminded as to what this pantry door used to look like before we made it over. So for the most part, this door resembled all the other doors inside my home. And I wanted to be able to distinguish it from the other doors and to just kind of give it a little bit more flair. And don't forget, this pantry door is the start of a makeover that's going to be happening in my kitchen. So now let's take a look at the final reveal. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the makeover. In the meantime, I'll see you guys really soon in my next video. Until then, bye now.